welcome back to another episode of Eww Adulting. Here we are back again with another episode, and adulting is hard. It is difficult, and it is definitely taking an emotional toll. But that's why we're here to figure out together, right? Today's episode will be, I think, on nostalgia, because that's been something I've been feeling a lot of lately, and it's something that I really feel like needs to be touched on, if that makes sense. Now, I guess to start it off, the last episode I was meant to record, but I ran out of storage on my phone. And then I was going to use my partner's camera, but I don't actually have it at the moment. So at this very moment, we are currently still filming on the phone because that's all I have. So let's get into it. Don't worry, we're back for the vodcast this week, hopefully. That is if my phone also doesn't run out of storage in this episode, because I recorded it last episode and my phone ran out of storage, and I'm not gonna lie, I really couldn't be bothered to re-record that whole entire episode, because sometimes something just hits different the first time. Do you know what I mean? It's like a sequel to a movie. Nothing's ever as good as the first, in my opinion. So, nostalgia. Today there's a Hannah Montana 20-year special thing coming out, which I know is a really weird way to start this episode. And if you don't know what Hannah Montana is, then you haven't lived. It's quite sad, and it's literally how so many people I feel like are horse people these days, like horse girls and stuff. That's what I feel like. Shaped a lot of people growing up who they are. If you were a Disney Channel kid like me, or Nickelodeon, all of those shows like Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place, That's So Raven, Sweet Life on Deck, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, like all those kind of shows, I said that already, Good Luck Charlie, all these kind of shows, they shaped a lot of people my age. And it's crazy because it's a 20-year anniversary episode of Hannah Montana, and Miley Cyrus has gone back to like the original kind of blonde look and very similar set, and it's very cool. I can't wait to see it. It's not actually out yet, so I'm talking about this before it's even out, but I still can't wait to see it. So following on from that, I think the biggest question a lot of people ask is, how am I supposed to be excited about growing up and getting older when you miss everything about your childhood? And for me, that is something I am constantly trying to figure out. I mentioned in my birthday episode that I'm not the biggest fan of when my birthday comes around, because you're getting older and all of your childhood is just going away. Do you know what I mean? And you can still be a child at heart. I'm not saying that your childhood just completely disappears, because there's always aspects of your childhood that happen or play a role in your adulthood. But like for me, I'm always a kid at heart. Like if you know me, you know I'm a kid at heart. But every year that I get older, I always get really sad, because everything's changing. You can't just go back to watching that weekly special of Hannah Montana or The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, for me, for example. And it's crazy, because if you think back of the time, like it was nearly 20 years ago. So like what? That's insane that I was watching that long ago. And let's be real, I would probably rewatch the whole entire series over and over. And I have before, and I have probably not that long ago with this series, which I know sometimes is a little bit weird, because it's like, oh, then you grow up and you think some of these things are cringe. But at the same time, it was a comfort show. Do you know what I mean? So I just thought, like, wow, we need to try and take a moment to really understand that times are changing. Time goes really fast. And like, I'm 24. it feels like just yesterday I was 6 or 7 years old in my dance class in school, getting my school photos done. Like, all these things that I vividly remember at that age. And then getting up on the weekends and watching some of my favorite Disney shows. I know, iPad kid things. Ugh. I'm not going to call myself an iPad kid, though, because I'm really not. But I feel like I kind of am, because I love a good video game on my phone. So, everyone each their own, but I'm not calling myself an iPad kid. No, thank you. But I did grow up with that era of Disney Channel. And, some of those Disney Channel games that you could find on the internet. Like, it's so... it just brings so much nostalgia, because I just want to go back to those times. And when I do think about getting older and stuff, and I think about those times, I remember thinking as a kid, oh, I wish that I could be, in a show like that. And I think a lot of kids thought that. And even the same as Wizards of Waverly Place, for example. Every kid always wished that they had that magic. I still wish I had that magic. Do you know how many things I would do if I had magical powers? I would definitely avoid doing laundry. I would definitely avoid cleaning dishes. And my room. And a lot of things, actually, if I'm being honest. We could be here all day if we talked about the things I would avoid if I had magic powers. But if I also had them, I'd be doing a lot of things that I think would be cool, but I don't know. Everyone each to their own. So anyways, So what are you supposed to do if you find yourself really wishing that you could go back? And I'm not sure I have an answer. I know, that's like stupid. Because you're just like, oh, well, what's the point? What is the point of this episode if you don't even know? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think try and go back to the times, though, where you enjoyed those moments. Finding things that brought you happy. For me, I did watch Disney Channel, and I enjoyed watching those episodes because it brought me joy. I was always looking forward to what was going to happen next, especially if it was a 2-part episode. If it was a 2-part episode and I was left on a cliffhanger, rage bait. That is literally the definition, I think, of rage bait right there. So, trying to go back to what brought you joy, you don't have to, I wouldn't say you necessarily have to, forget about everything else. And maybe that's not even the right way to put it, but I think take a trip down memory lane. Dress up in an outfit that you would to make a matching outfit with your favorite people on TV. And even make your favorite dish. Sometimes I do that. There's one time where I just felt like I so badly wanted to have a little kid dish. So I made macaroni and cheese, chicken nuggets. And I think I had chocolate milk. And I can tell you right now that my digestive system was not the biggest fan of that because I don't eat things like that all the time. Or that combination. Oh my goodness. Kids' tummies are really strong. I don't know how. But anyways, I did that because I just felt like I needed a moment to go back to my childhood. And sometimes that's what you need to do. So I think go back to a moment that made you feel happy when you were watching those shows, for example. Or even as a kid, going back and doing an activity that you enjoyed. I love going to those trampoline parks. And they have them not too far from me. And I haven't been in a while, but I would love to go to one. And I'll go to one when the time comes and I can afford it. But right now, it's on hold. Same with rock climbing. I did rock climbing birthday parties. And I went to a couple rock climbing birthday parties, and it was so much fun. And I went real rock climbing for my parents' anniversary. So I've done a lot of rock climbing, and I enjoyed it. And I did it for the first time, I think in 2024, after a long time. And it was so much fun. And it just brings back that part of excitement that I had when I was a kid. And it's okay to mourn the time that's gone, I don't want people to think it's a big, like, you need to forget about it. Like, you're never going to go back to that. That is true. And that's the harsh reality of growing up, is that you're not going to be able to go back to the times that you had. And I struggle with that because there's so many times or memories that I wish I could just stay in, but unfortunately I'm not able to go back to them, So mourn the time that's lost, because that's okay. It's okay to be sad about the fact that you are no longer a kid. It's okay to be sad about the fact that you're growing up. And it's okay to be sad about knowing that things are changing and they're not the same as they used to be. And when you're a kid, you also rely on so many other people to get you to and from school, get you dressed, get you to and from sports, make your lunches, things like that. And so it's a big change to then go from that to just all of a sudden you're doing it by yourself. You have to be the one to get yourself up. You have to be the one to make yourself lunch. You have to be the one to get yourself to sports or other extracurricular activities. Do you know what I mean? So trying to find a way to enjoy growing up, and I'm one who savors everything. I'm very sentimental. I want to keep anything and everything sometimes. And it's a problem because I don't want to turn into like a hoarder and just have all this stuff. But I'm sentimental. And I worry that if I get rid of it, I'm never going to remember it. And maybe that's the case for some things. And I guess if you're not a member, if you don't, oh my goodness, my brain just quit. If you're not meant to remember it, then maybe you're not meant to. But I love to remember things. So I try and keep little things that I can put in a scrapbook, or I try and keep as many photos that I can. And I have a lot of photos. Like, I literally have 340 gigabytes of photos and videos on my phone. It's ridiculous. So go back and look at all the times that you were happy as a kid and all the times that you enjoyed things that you did, whether that be a swimming carnival, or you went to a trampoline place, or you went on this vacation with your family, anything that brought you joy. Go back and look through the photos and remember the good times you had and write about it. That's something I love to do, where I try and write about things, not necessarily about when I was a kid, but I should probably, because sometimes my memory just doesn't do me good, But write about it. Write about the times that made you feel really good. And you can slowly start to remember in your mind what's happened, especially if you have a photographic memory or whatever it is. You can remember those things like it's a movie playing in your head. That's really cool. So I definitely say go for that. And maybe watch a show that you enjoyed watching, or go and do an activity that you enjoyed doing. It sounds easier said than done, because I know that sometimes things cost money. And obviously when you were a kid, you relied on your parents to do that. And I'm not saying that you can't now, but I'm definitely at the stage where I'm an adult who pays for my own things. Does my mom pay for things for me? Yes, she does. But there are things where I definitely will pay my own way, because you're not a little kid anymore. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Thinking back about this Hannah Montana special, I guess to go back onto it, it just makes I'm excited. But I'm a little bit sad, because it feels like time just slips away so quickly. And I hate it. I really do. Like, it's already almost April of 2026. Like, where does the time even go? And then, like, given the fact that I've had a few deaths in my family, I'm just thinking, like, wow, this is crazy. They were just here, I was just spending time with them, and now they're gone. Like, there is just so much that happens, and it happens so quickly. And along the way, like, we've all changed, we've all grown up. And I think there's a thing that every 7 years your body changes, your personality changes, and that's a good thing. It's meant to happen. You're meant to grow into being the next best version of yourself. Sometimes that takes a little bit of practice. Sorry. It takes a bit of time. And people are constantly changing. And the world is constantly changing. So nothing ever really sticks, I guess. Which sounds a little bit silly to say, because obviously, if you're in a job, for example, the job sticks. But, I mean, if you think of the bigger picture of things change. And we're changing. And I think it gives us the chance to really take a moment to appreciate what we have. And it gives us a chance to really take it all in and realize that we need to spend time with the people that are around us. And maybe that may even mean checking in on someone that you used to go to primary school with or something. Because this could be your sign. You've been wanting to check in with someone who shared those special moments with you. And maybe this is your sign to go and check on them. Because they were a part of your life too. All of the people who you went to primary school with, or did ballet with, or did, any sport with or whatever, they were all a part of your life. And maybe you only saw them during those hour classes or whatever it is, but they all had an impact on you. And sometimes it's good to see what other people are doing who were in your childhood. And this is where sometimes it can be dangerous, because you do tend to start comparing yourself, because you're like, oh, well, if I'd done that, then maybe I'd be in the same place as them. Or maybe I'd be successful like they were. Maybe I'd have better grades like they did. Like, it is difficult, but they've changed as well. And maybe they've gone down different paths than you expected. But along the way, everyone's changed. Everyone's grown. Everyone's personalities have changed. And I think something that people need to really understand is that as much as it is sad to see your childhood going away, you're at the stage of life where you probably couldn't even imagine when you were a kid. Like, I couldn't imagine myself being right here, right now, when I was 8 years old. I didn't think that when I was 24, I'd be right here recording a podcast. I didn't think that I'd be living in another country. Like, there's been so much good that's happened as I've left childhood and grown into an adult. But there's also so many things that I wish I still had from childhood while being an adult. And sometimes I think that's never going to change. The feeling of that is never going to change. And you're always going to want something that you had as your childhood. So know that that is okay. It's okay to feel, I guess, have mixed emotions about it. Because everyone carries their nostalgia differently. And I love knowing that there's a great future ahead. But I also know that I wish I could go back to the times that I was a kid. And for me, when I was a kid, things were definitely, I felt like a little bit easier. They should be, but unfortunately not everyone has that. But without going into too much detail on that, I am one of those kids who was very blessed growing up, and I'm very blessed now, and I'm forever grateful for that. And I think that's part of it. When life gets hard now, I just wish I could go back to being a kid and being carried up the stairs to bed and having pool days all the time with my friends in the summertime and all of those things. And when I really want to trip down memory lane, we do have home movies. And if you have home movies, watch them, because they bring back some of the best memories that you've probably locked away and forgotten about. So have a look at family movies if you have them. Or look through photo albums. We have heaps of photo albums at my place. So looking at photo albums is great, because then you can think about all the good times that you had as a kid. And recreate some iconic outfits. Like, so many people did Hannah Montana outfits, and she had a clothing line. Like, that was just a time where there was so much, like, Hannah Montana inspired clothing that it just became a thing. So recreate an outfit, Go back to the fun times where you danced around your room and play the music. I have to say, play the music. Oh my goodness. I'm actually going to do that now, I feel like. But play the music. It's so good. It gets you excited. It brings you back to a time that you enjoyed and you weren't necessarily in fight or flight mode. And remember, it's okay to mourn the fact that you're no longer a kid and that you're an adult and that things are getting hard, because that is how adulthood works. Things will get hard. Things will not be easy the way they were. And it takes a lot more from you to pave the path of your future. But there are other people around you who are feeling the exact same thing. And talk to them. Let them know how you feel and let them know that you understand the same thing. That's how adulthood works too. Being there for people who feel the same things, and all it takes is a conversation to know that someone else feels the same as you. So I guess this was a little bit of an all over the place. Just kidding. Not a little bit. It's always all over the place. These episodes are definitely all over the place because, yeah, that's an ADHD thing. But anyways, nostalgia. There's so much I feel like with that. But know that it's a normal feeling and that it's okay to feel every single emotion that you feel about it, because sometimes you just want to go back to being a kid. So do what makes you feel happy. Do what makes you feel good. Do what makes you feel comfortable and bring you comfort in the times that it did when you were a kid. And hopefully things will be okay. And I know they will be. And enjoy that special, because every now and then shows do the specials. So enjoy it and relive your favorite Disney or Nickelodeon or whatever TV series you watched, and relive the best times, because that's what I'm going to do. And until then, I guess I will talk to you on the next episode of Eww Adulting. And remember, it's hard, but you're not alone. And I understand how you feel. And you'll be okay. I believe in you. I will see you guys and talk to you again on the next episode of Eww Adulting. Bye.